So, good evening. Good evening. Apologies to everybody who was waiting for me to stream this on Facebook. Unfortunately, I took so long, it's cancelled Facebook. But as you can see, Don Mikel, the masterful Mikel, has joined me for yet another press conference. Still haven't sorted out his lighting. You'd think a multi-billion-pound business would sort out some proper lighting for the fella. Even I've got better lighting than Mikel. But he has joined me for a press conference. Before we get into going through that with a fine tooth comb, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stick a like on the video. Moon the likes. You tell them, bruv. Skint FC. Tell them again. Moon the likes. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, why not? Lee Gunner 82 on the gram. And if you want to be in with a chance to win the signed, framed Dennis Bergkamp t-shirt, that will be given away to one lucky person who wins the competition, randomly picked, not by myself, but randomly picked on Monday night after the annual piping up at Anfield. So make sure, if you want to be in with a shout of doing that, the link is in the description. Download Flick app. Scroll down the timeline on the app to the Bergkamp t-shirt giveaway. When you go into the chat on that, on the right-hand side at the bottom, there's like a little figure, a little character. Click on it, put 2 emotes in the chat, and you're qualified, baby. And it's all good. So, yes, if you want to be in with a shout for winning the best player that's ever played for Arsenal signed, framed shirts, get on it right now. Nearly 3,000 people follow me on that. So thank you very much. Inside, 2 weeks of really, well, not even 2 weeks, 10 days of actually pushing that properly. It's just gone boom. So thanks very much. But we do have a game. We actually have back-to-back games up at Anfield next week. When was the last time we played the same team away twice in a row? I can't remember. I genuinely don't know. So if somebody can tell me, then happy days. We haven't won at Anfield since 2012. So there we go. Hopefully the greatest coach ever to have walked the planet, sitting there who's joining me now, big up Don Mikel, will be able to coach this bunch of shit players into getting a result at Anfield. Who was the last player to score the winner at Anfield? Robin van Persie, wasn't it? When it a volley in 94th minute. Robin van Persie, was it the 94th minute? I'm sure it was, or 98th minute, something like that. I'm sure it was Van Persie with a winner, wasn't it? 2-1 past Pepe Reina. Near post as well. Van Persie on his left. Jesus Christ, that boy was a genius, man. But you have to back the process, trust the process, believe in the process. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me the process, but we're backing it anyway, because that's what we do. We're super positivity. And we're going to go to Anfield and we're going to make it count this time with a double pivot of Mohamed El Sideways and Joseph Willock. And we're going to go up there and we're going to have Thiago in the mud, mate. He don't even know what's about to happen to him. Welcome to the Premier League, bruv. Yeah, might be doing your pretty patterns down at the bridge, mate. You don't even know about Mohamed El Neni. Man's going to pocket him, bruv. So, yes, now we've got all the salty sarcasm out the way. Maybe we should actually get on with the press conference. But listen, all jokes aside, I'm gonna be nice. Jez doesn't know what the process is, and he's supported Arsenal for about 60 years. So there you go, Jez. We don't know, do we? Nobody knows. It's just let's just buckle up and see. And George Lewis, where is George Lewis? Does anybody know? Has he actually played a game? I think he played against Tottenham reserves and scored in his debut, didn't he? Other than that, we're never going to see him. But anyway, enough waffling. Thank you very much to everybody who is watching live. I do appreciate it. And one more thing very quickly. What point in this transfer window from like how everyone's seeing it, at what point does everyone accept we're not getting Thomas Partey and Houssem Aouar? Aouar. We're not getting both, are we? We'll be lucky to get one. At what point does everyone accept that I was right? I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. So there we go. I'm a poet. I didn't know it. Big up Don Mikel. This is Arsenal.com. We have to give them props, otherwise they ban the stream. They copyright it because you didn't give them a shout out. Okay, mate. Well, anyway, Mikel Arteta was up front in his in front of the media on Friday as he previewed our next Premier League game, a trip to Anfield to face the champions. Wouldn't it be nice if we were champions? But here we go. Full transcript. Here we go. Buckle up. No fans in the ground at Anfield. Will it help Arsenal? I think obviously the crowd makes them stronger. Well, that's bollocks. I've been to Anfield and they're very quiet unless it's Champions League night. So I don't know what he's chatting about. It's a unique atmosphere they create. Well, listen, it is on Champions League nights. Every time I've been to Anfield, it's been dead until they score. Very overrated. But there we go. As you are able to see how well they are playing without any crowds, that's because they're a proper football team with a proper board and a proper owner. And they know how to invest. They know how to get rid of their assets like Coutinho, Coutinho, Sterling, Suarez. Boom, that paid for the whole team. We're sitting there going, oh, well, maybe give El Neni another go. So we know what the challenge is ahead of us. So let's embrace it. Let's go for it. I do like Mikel Arteta, the way he speaks about Arsenal, to be fair. We're going to go there. We're going to prepare well, and we're going to try to win the game. Hopefully we can. And listen, all jokes aside, a lot of people get on my case because, oh, you're always on negative. You're always on Arteta's case. I do actually, and have always said since press conference number 1 when he took over, I love listening to Mikel Arteta because he actually gets it. He understands what I mean, and what I'm saying, because he says the same things. But when I say it, I'm negative and toxic. When he says it, oh, it's a process. Maybe I'm part of the process. Who knows? How much confidence we take from our last 2 performances against Liverpool. There we go. They're all very different games. Let me put this full screen for a second because I don't think you can really see this. I will come back to your comments in a minute. I'm going to very quickly pin these 2 because you guys are paid for them. So thank you. Don't worry about Salah. We got Georgie Lewis. You know, come on. And Mohamed El Busquets and Gilberto Silva to boss the midfield. Hey, last time Joe Willock played at Anfield, man scored an absolute screamer in a 5-5. Probably the only team that can go to Anfield and score 5 and still lose, but he did score an absolute banger. But thank you to you 2 guys for that. I appreciate that. I'm not going to be able to see any more comments. I'm going to go full screen on this, yeah? So I'll come back to them in un momento. And let's carry on. But he said they're all very different games, which they are. And the one we played at the Emirates and the one we played in the final were very different. I think it'll be different again on Monday night. We know the standards that we have to set in this league, how consistent they have been. And it's because they dominate almost every aspect of the game. So we need to be at our best. We need to compete really well against this team. And hopefully the boys are able to do that on Monday. He was then asked how the game would be different. Well, firstly, it'll be different because it ain't at Wembley and it ain't at the Emirates. And they're comfortable in their own surroundings. They know their own pitch. So, and this is why I get the ump with these press conferences, because you see these journalists that sit there, they ask dumb questions. Dumb. How is the game going to be different? Well, what a stupid question. Number 1, they're not on the beach. Yeah. Number 2, it's at Anfield. Why would you ask him that? But anyway, we will carry on. They were really different. The one at the Emirates and the one that played in the final against them, there's some very ability depending on what they do. We know we have to control those aspects. We know let me start that again. How can we attack in different ways as well? It's like quick waves all the time with them without much time to breathe. It's really quick game. It doesn't see long sequences of passes against them. We had to be at our best, that's for sure. And this is the thing. When Liverpool suffocate you, boy, you're gone. Yeah, because as soon as they start turning that screw, eventually they get a goal. And then when they get a goal, you're ruined, especially if they get the first goal, because then you have to come out, and you come out and they'll just rip you to shreds. They're an absolute joy to watch, Liverpool. A little bit like we used to be. But there we go. What have you been working on since the West Ham game? He said, obviously, I'm not going to discuss that, which is why it's a fucking dumb question. What a waste of a question. You've gone to media training. You've gone to university, I'd imagine. You've gone through all of the, boosting your way up through a corporation and a company to get put in front of a Premier League manager. And you ask him, so what's your tactics going to be then, Mikel? What have you been working on? Fucking idiot. Seriously. Unbelievable. Latest on Torreira. Well, at least that's a proper question. And he ain't going to answer it, which he wouldn't. But we want to know the answer. This is where I found this very interesting. Linked with Jorginho at Chelsea. He said, we are still open to improve our team. We are looking for different options depending on what happens with some of our players here. So we are getting prepared just in case we need to do something. First things first, he does then go on to say, when he was asked about the qualities of Jorginho, I can't speak about players from different teams. Well, you just did, mate, right? You just did. So first thing I got was, well, hang on, when you're normally asked about a player, you normally say straight away, yeah, that we don't speak about players from another team. Then you said we are getting prepared just in case we need to do something. Cast your minds back a few months ago when you said to compete with the biggest teams in the league, we need to get better players in the squad. So clearly we need to do something. So what's changed? I didn't quite understand that one, if I'm honest. How hard is it facing the same opponent twice in a week? Well, that's a stupid question because it'd be two different Liverpool teams we face. It's normally difficult enough to play the same team in 4 days, and for the players as well to adapt. Obviously, the first game has a big impact on the second one, and it's really tough to beat the same opponent twice in a short period. When you talk about Liverpool, that challenge is even bigger. But we must focus on Monday. Let's try and get the best possible preparation against them. Go there, and most importantly, have the belief that we can go there and win, which I liked. I did like the fact that he wants to go there and win. Whether he sets up like that, whether we get the win, we shall see. But he's going there for a win. I like that. We all have to believe that we are capable of doing that. On the importance of starting the game on the front foot, he said, yes, it's really important to start well. It's also really important what happens for 20, 30, 80, 90 minutes afterwards, because they're a team that are really consistent in their performances. They're able to constrain the opponent to do very little against them, and they can dominate for large periods of games. You have to be able, when you have the right opportunities and the right moments, to be ruthless. So to me, that sounds like we're parking the bus and hoping Aubameyang scores, which isn't necessarily the worst thing that could happen. It's the way we beat him last time. You have to do that as well, he said. You have to suffer for periods, but you're going to have the experience to get through it. On when fans will return, pointless question, we don't know. On Eddie Nketiah, whether he thinks he's good enough to get an England call up, well, he's not going to say no, he's shit, is he? What a dumb question. On what he thinks Liverpool's weakness is, again, why would he tell you that? Because then that gives away his game plan. Seriously, man, get me in a press conference. This is dumb. I think they're getting better and better and have less weaknesses. Exactly. They've signed Jota. They've signed Thiago. Henderson's out for this game. So Thiago Alcantara is going to come in. Granit Xhaka and Ceballos, I'm telling you now, they better be on their game. Because if they're not, they are going to be spinning around like Kylie Minogue, mate. Yeah, literally like fidget spinners, just rolling around in circles, because Thiago will have them all ends up. Quality footballer. So are the rest of their team, to be fair. But he is the man now, isn't he? With all the incredible things that they have, and know that they are going to try and still be able to get on you. We want to be able to focus on what we can do and control our own aspects. On the need to be ruthless on Monday, it's the big games like this, every detail really important to get the win. We have to dominate a lot of aspects of the game, and how we manage the game in certain aspects as well. When we have the opportunities, we have to put them in the net. And this is what I'm saying. The way he's kind of speaking on this is like, yo, we're going to park the bus, yeah? Break us down, and we're going to go with Aubameyang on the break. And like I said, listen, against the better teams, I could not give two fucks if that's the game plan. It's when we come up against a West Ham, a Brighton, Olympiacos, an Aston Villa, that's where I feel we need to do more. The bigger games are not necessarily the issue for me, because yes, although we beat Liverpool at Wembley and Emirates, we haven't beaten them at their ground for a long time. If we go there, and I'm not trying to sound like a loser, because I always want to win. If we get a draw, that is a fucking improvement, because we get absolutely battered every time we go to Anfield. That is then an improvement. If we go there and get battered again, sorry, I'll be sitting there saying, well, there ain't an improvement, is there? Because I don't care about the West Hams, the Brightons right now. Liverpool away, we get piped and have done for 8 years straight. Show me that's not the case anymore. Show me that there is a culture change. Show me that there is a style of play. Show me that we can step up against the best team in the league at their ground and say, oi, we ain't having it anymore. Sit back down, bruv. Yeah, because we're coming to the party now. Show me that Monday night. Whether they do or not, it's a different matter, isn't it? Whether he tried to sign Thiago, stupid question. That's about 5 stupid questions now. whether he's a player he admires. Well, he ain't going to sit there and say, shit, another stupid question. The importance on winning away to the top 6 clubs. We want consistent results. We have to be able to go to any ground and get points. Thank you very much, Mikel. Sit that journo back down, baby. And listen, after these press conferences, I'll sit there and it's just the same generic questions they ask him, isn't it? It's like, why? It's no coincidence that most of these journalists that get put in there are just, the journalists are a dying breed in this country. Let's be real. Yeah. Nobody really reads a newspaper, do they? Let's be honest. So yes, it goes online. How many people click on it? This is on Arsenal website. So all them journalists that are sat there have put them out on their publications. How many people are clicking on that? Because I go on arsenal.com to read this. Do you know what I'm saying? Nicola Pepe, I think he's come a long way. We know what the club paid for him when he joined, and that's obviously got extra pressure, but he's a player who's had to adapt. It's a different style. He has a really good attitude. We can see he develops in a lot of phases of his game. He's very settled, and he's like the boys. He's really good character to have around, and I'm really positive that we're going to have him for many years and that he can perform at a high level of consistency. On him helping Gabriel, obviously they play for the same club. It's very nice for them to have compatriots next to them. It obviously helps the process of bedding someone in, definitely. He said, I think it's a positive thing. We're just going to skip through some of these. How key will Willian's big game experience be? Well, that's pretty stupid, really, isn't it? Again, another stupid question. Willian played for Chelsea against Liverpool probably about the same amount of times as Hector Bellerin has played against Liverpool. So why don't we ask Hector Bellerin's experience against the big teams? Stupid question, man. Ah, dear. On whether they believe, I might stop doing these press conference reactions because they're bollocks, aren't they? On whether they believe in themselves more than when he arrived. He goes, I haven't been to Anfield with them yet, but I'm expecting that every ground we go to, we're going to prepare for the game to win. And they realize that they are good enough to do that. Obviously, we need to be able... obviously, we need to have an incredible performance individually and collectively. We need to manage every detail of the game. Aubameyang and Laka's understanding. Well, we've been there, done that under Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery. How concerned is he with the lack of finances for those further down football's pyramid? Again, what the fuck does that have to do with Arsenal against Liverpool? What a dumb question. So there we go. That, my friends, was the end of that. And it wasn't great, was it? Not so much on Mikel's part. I think when Mikel Arteta speaks, I'm like, yo, yeah, you're talking my lingo, bruv, yeah? But the questions are just pathetic every week. I'm getting bored of doing them, if I'm honest. Yeah, every single week it's the same generic rubbish. Yeah, we don't need to ask what Willian's big game experience is going to be, whether it's going to be helpful. Hector Bellerin's probably played more games against Liverpool than Willian. Yeah, why don't you ask what Bellerin's big game experience is going to be like? I don't know, man. I just sit there and I think, like, they need to freshen these press conferences up. You know, you're asking him about Jorginho. And that's the one thing I took out of this press conference. He was asked about Jorginho and he went on to say, look, we're going to, you know, try and get rid of some players. If that happens, then great. And then if we need to go and sign players, we'll do something. 3 months ago, you said this club's nowhere near competing and we need to have players in the squad to make the squad bigger. So do we need it now or didn't we need it then? Like, bit confusing. Then he was asked again about Jorginho and said, I don't want to speak about other teams' players. So from that, me personally, I'm sitting there going, boy, we're in for Jorginho, you know. And it's funny because before I commented, I was talking to a friend of mine, I was texting him, and he said about Partey and Aouar. And he said, you need Partey. He's a Tottenham fan and very good friend of mine. And he said that we need Thomas Partey more than Aouar. I agree, but I don't see us getting them both. We need both. And I said to him, we'll probably end up with neither and end up with Jorginho. I can see that happening. I said this the other day when I did my stream. A lot of people going, oh, it's fake news. It's only fake if you don't believe it. If that was Kante's name instead of Jorginho's name linked, you'd believe it. So then it's not fake news, is it? The same corporations putting that news out, if they said it was Thomas Partey was linked to Arsenal, oh, yes, I believe it. So I just look at it and I think, like, you have to look at all aspects. Chelsea are West London, we're North London. Yeah. if they sign Declan Rice, he's surplus to requirements. We don't want Guendouzi. Guendouzi would probably get on their bench and play the odd game here and there. He wouldn't start every week, that's for sure. But Jorginho would be completely surplus to requirements. So I think potentially Jorginho would come to Arsenal. And I think that we definitely want him. I genuinely do. Mikel Arteta and Pep wanted him at Man City, so why wouldn't they want him now? I don't know. He is Italian, yes. Brazilian-born Italian or Italian-born Brazilian. I don't know. One of the ways. Either way, it's another Chelsea player that's linked to Arsenal, isn't it? And they've signed all these players, which no doubt will sign in 5 years' time when they're all finished. So there we go. But listen, I am looking forward to the game on Monday. I didn't realise until a few hours ago that we are actually playing again on Thursday against Liverpool. I knew we were playing Liverpool. I didn't realise the turnaround was that quick and we're playing twice in a week. I don't think that makes any difference to this game because I think the team that we're going to put out on Thursday is going to be completely different to the team on Monday. So when I do my preview on Friday night, not Friday night, it's Friday night tonight, Sunday night. When I do my preview on Sunday night, I'll be giving you whether I think we can win it. It'll be your starting 11. I'll put the polls up on Flick. Make sure you download that. If you haven't downloaded it, make sure you do. If you want to win or be in with a chance to win a signed Bergkamp shirt, framed, signed, sealed, delivered, sent out Tuesday morning, download Flick. The app is in the description. Scroll down the app to the Bergkamp giveaway and put 2 emotes in the chat. They're in the bottom right-hand side of the chat. You can't miss it. And you'll be qualified. And one lucky winner will be picked at random on Monday night after the game. But there we go. But anyway, let's read some of your comments. What do you guys think to the press conferences? I mean, like I do these every week, and I just look at them and I think like it's the same 4 or 5 journos in there every week, and they don't ask them proper questions. I mean, why are you asking them? Yeah. About the impact on lower league team finances when we're building up for a game against Liverpool. What's that got to do with anything? Last week, they were asking him about Gareth Bale signing for Tottenham. What's that got to do with Arsenal West Ham? Do you know what I'm saying? Ask some proper questions. Lee, do a preview with Team Coppish. I might do, yeah. I'll reach out to him, man. I'll see what they're saying. I was going to get hold of Craig on Anfield Agenda as well, if I'm honest. But depends if I get time, mate. Because I am kind of busy this weekend, if I'm honest. I've got a lot going on at the moment. So, and yeah, my green screen that was due to turn up this week, they reckon they delivered it Thursday and I weren't in. Absolute rubbish. So they've decided to give me a refund without my say-so. They just refunded it. So now I've ordered an Elgato one, which is coming next week because Elgato are now shipping to Spain real quick, which they weren't before. Liverpool, Sheffield United, Leicester, Man City, and Man United next 5 fixtures. Well, that's very true. We're kind of buggered, isn't it? We're kind of buggered, and it just goes to show. By the time we get to Man City, Man United, we'll probably have a few injuries by them as well. Awar is in London. He's probably signing for Chelsea then. Is he actually in London? Is he actually in London? Press conferences are like watching paint dry. There you go. We shall see. Awar is done. Well, listen, that is the player out of the 2 that I don't think we need. We need Thomas Partey, mate. We ain't got no steel and grit in that midfield. It's great that we can sign a player of that quality if he does sign. Yeah, fantastic. Number one, it puts the whole pandemic FC merchants to bed. How are we doing 60 million? Oh, we're skint. It's not Football Manager. Well, it's obviously is Football Manager because we're going to do 60 million on him. So that shuts all of them up for chatting their rubbish all summer. But number 2, it's not enough. Even Thomas Partey and Awar is not enough. Where do you want to finish? Because if we sign them both, trust me, we are still not getting top 4. People can sit and say you're negative. I'm not negative. I'm realistic, mate. Yeah, I'm realistic. I'm realistic. Does Steffi like a tan? Steffi's got a banging tan. Isn't it, babe? She's not here. Talking to myself. Just so you're saying, in it. She's normally in the basement. But no, she's not here. She ran off and left me. But there we go. Right, let's do a couple more comments and I'm going to go. You're realistic. Where's the depth? Thank you. Let's assume Granit Xhaka stays pretty fit all season, to be fair. So let's assume Granit Xhaka stays fit all season. Now let's assume that Dani Ceballos gets injured. Who are we putting next to him? El Neni? Well, El Neni at the Etihad, yeah? Okay. We're going to go with Joe Willock. What about Guendouzi? And when we're playing all these games back to back, and it's thick and fast and away games, then Europa League kicks in. Because I think a lot of people are forgetting we're in Europa League, mate. Yeah? All these people laughing at Tottenham for signing washed up Gareth Bale. Yeah? Trust me. Trust me right now when I say this. Tottenham will finish above us. Man United will finish above us. Chelsea will finish above us. Liverpool and City. There's 5 teams straight away. We could even throw Wolverhampton Wanderers and maybe Leicester into that. Wolves ain't got no Europe. And all of these teams, even with Aouar in our team, fantastic, great if we go and sign him. That's not the issue. For me, it's not the issue. The issue is when we ain't got the ball, we've got no grit and steel in midfield. Aouar ain't that guy. Thomas Partey is. Thomas Partey has been well drilled at Atletico Madrid by an absolute shithouse of a manager. Yeah. The fuckery levels of that guy. Yeah. And if you don't do what he says, I can imagine he'd kick the shit out of you in the dressing room. Could you imagine Simeone walking in as Arsenal, mate? Oh my God. He'd rip that cross earring out of that fucking Bellerin's ear straight away. He'd grab Ozil up by the throat. He'd fucking bosh in Granit Xhaka's fucking face. Say, right, bastards, sit down. Then he'd start grabbing his nuts up and giving it the Bertie. Yeah. And watch how they'd fucking run around and start being physical and violent on the pitch. Yeah, good guys, pretty boys and all that. They don't win, mate. Jose said it in All or Nothing. Good guys don't win. Start being, you know what he said next. And we ain't got any see you next Tuesdays in midfield. They're all weaklings. Granit Xhaka, Ozil, Willock, Guendouzi, Ceballos, El Neni. They're not the big physical dominating presence that when you haven't got the ball and it's on a turnover or play, that they're going to come and body you and get the ball back. We ain't got that. And as good as Aouar is, if that is our only midfield signing this summer, sorry, don't get your hopes up. Fantastic signing, fantastic footballer. Not what we need. Yeah, and we always do this. We signed Nicola Pepe when we didn't need to. We needed, and dare I say it, I did say it at the time, we needed a Ndombele, yeah, that mould of player. We didn't need a Nicola Pepe. We needed a physical, commanding central midfielder. A year and a bit later, we're still sitting here saying we need the same and we're going to go and sign Houssem Aouar. Like I said, I'm not slagging it off. I'm happy that if that is the case, like you guys are saying, that we're going to get the deal done. Fantastic. What a signing. But if Thomas Partey doesn't come as well, don't get your hopes up, because we will still come across the same problems time and time again without the ball. And even if we do sign them both, we still ain't good enough to get top 4. We're literally that far behind. We ain't getting top 4. We need a right back. We need a left back. Bellerin ain't good enough, especially when most of our plays come down the wings now. We don't go through the middle, and we want to try and do that Liverpool model of whipping balls in and stuff like that and getting it down the wings. And if you've got a right back who can't cross a ball, that ain't no good, because go and have a look at Trent. Yeah, Trent can cross a ball, relentless. Yeah, their left side, Robertson, he is relentless. Best left back on the planet. We've got Tierney that can do that. But then when Tierney gets injured, and he has been injured a lot, who's your backup? Said Kolasinac. Man couldn't even cross the ball the other day. He was off balance and spooned it into row Z. We need a proper backup on both sides. Well, on that side and on the right side, we need a proper right back, as well as Thomas Partey and Houssem Aouar. And until we do that, sadly, we're nowhere near top 4. But that's just my thoughts on it. You might disagree, and if you do, that's fine. But there we go. Hi, Lee. Happy Friday. The press conference are just the coach speaking most of the time. Most annoying are the fans who keep begging for Fabrizio news. Bruv, thank you very much for that, Vegas Gunner. And I don't know, mate. I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, look, Ian makes a point. It's just people saying we've reached personal terms. Wasn't this done 4 weeks ago? Exactly. People get gassed up too quick, you know. Yeah, and I'll tell you something now. I am going to absolutely wet my fucking pants if we don't sign either of them. Because the excuses, and all these people that are tracking flights and cars. I see that Thomas Partey's with his agent today. Oh, the car. Oh, my God, he's in a car. Yeah. Oh, The car's an English car. Oh, it's got airbag written on. Shut up, man. Yeah, watch if he signs a new deal. Yeah, and we don't get him. Watch when we don't get Aouar. Watch what's the excuses. It's mad. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. Aouar wanted Barca and Juve. Well, there you go. He's 60 million euros. We've known this for 10 weeks. Thomas Partey's 50 million euros. We've known it for over a year. If we really wanted these two players, we would have already signed them. Yeah. And people can sit there and give it the spiel about, oh, we need to sell before we can buy. Well, okay, then. So the process you're telling me to trust, you don't believe yourself then, or they're lying because Edu and Vinay said we don't need to sell before we can buy. So it's all kind of making sense now, isn't it? Vinay sits there, Edu sits there. We don't need to sell before we buy. You lot are telling me we need to sell before we can buy. Cool. Fantastic. If we wanted them, we would have brought them. You don't have to register all your players. So when it comes to registering a 25-man squad, you can go, yo, El Neni, you're not in the Premier League squad, bruv. Ozil, fullback. Yeah? Then you've got your 2-star men in. If we really wanted to sign these players, we could go and sign them. The fact that we've wasted 10.5 weeks and all Edu's done is smoke a cigar and cook a barbecue sums up Arsenal Football Club for the last 15 years. Not good enough, loser mentality, and absolute frauds, the lot of them. Yeah, we were sold a dream, and that's all it'll ever be. And Chelsea, I've said this a million times before, Chelsea, when they're going out again, pop, 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 player, 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 that is the dream we got sold to move to the Emirates. We're going to compete with the best teams in the world. We're going to have the best players on the planet. Well, why didn't we sign Werner then? Why didn't we sign Havertz then? Oh, yeah, because our plan was a load of bollocks. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to stop before going on ranks. I don't want to go on a rant. I'm having a good Friday. I will be back on 9 o'clock tonight. I had to think about that. 9 o'clock tonight, I'll be back again. And I'm going to end on this comment. 90% are screaming for Aouar, but really and truly have never watched him consistently. Just listen to the media and ride the wave. Thank you very much. How many people that are knocking one out over Houssem Aouar have actually watched him for 10 League 1 games for 90 minutes? Absolutely zero. 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 None of you. You've just seen him in the Champions League like I have. Decent footballer. Probably do well in the Premier League. If he comes to us, great. He'll probably end up at Man City. There you go. So thank you very much to everyone who has joined live. I will be back at 9 o'clock tonight. It will be an uploaded video. It won't be a stream. So make sure you come and check that out. I will be back again lunchtime tomorrow. And keep your eyes peeled. Thank you very much. And have a wicked Friday. Don't forget, download Flick app if you want to win a Bergkamp shirt. Join in. Signed, framed, get on it. 2 emotes in the chat. Go and find the chat, the Bergkamp giveaway. You cannot miss it. Winner announced Monday night. And I think we should leave on a massive high of saying, yes, I would say be excited. So I'm going to be excited about my Friday evening. Hopefully you'll all do the same. Stick the notifications on. Thumbs it up, baby. And have a wonderful evening. Laters, peeps.